today's cup of coffee, I was just talking to BB, we have one of the most hotly debated subjects probably in the paranormal community.
Highly controversial.
It is highly controversial. And I don't know why. But we're talking about Bigfoot.
Big feet.
And as far as your resource is going to be Daily Mail by Sam Tonkin, March 11th of 2023. And he's proposing the top 5 theories about Bigfoot. And I'm just going to go ahead and list those. The link to the description, or link to the article will be in the description box. I blame the youngest kid getting distracted while I do it myself.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
I'm just over here.
It's genetic.
Yeah, I wonder where I get that from.
And so we got number 1, that Bigfoot is a lost species of hominid. Number 2, the creature is actually an ape from Asia that wandered to North America during the Ice Age.
He's an alien.
3, Bigfoot is among at least 2,000 ape-men walking upright in North America's woods today. 4, the monster is a Native American nature spirit. And then 5, they're saying, is all videos and alleged photographic evidence is actually a hoax. So that's what dude's top 5. Not sure where he found the top 5. But
where's the alien?
That one didn't even make the list.
What? How is that one not making the list?
I don't know. I didn't write this one.
You would think that would make the list.
That's just ponderings that we have on this.
I don't think he knows what... Is he asking the right questions? Probably not.
He said the top 5.
Yeah.
Top 5, but that's not the right top 5.
So that's just,
It's because it doesn't fit with your top 5.
It doesn't fit with anybody's top 5.
I don't know. It depends on who you talk to. Now, as far as number 1, Bigfoot being a lost species of hominid.
Hominid?
What's a hominid?
Isn't that a verbal thing?
It's a hominid.
That's
and this is sort of like...
That goes into language. That's English. That's English class.
This is sort of like Homo sapiens, Neanderthal, different things like that. That one of the missing links is what they're saying. And I don't...
to go back, return to monkey.
Yeah.
Monkey.
I can't see this really being the case because where are the other ones? I mean, I understand we've got people walking around today that you can see traces of Cro-Magnon and Neanderthal. But as far as actual Neanderthals and Cro-Magnon walking about, where are they? Why would one exist today and not the others?
That's a good question.
One that I don't think we have the answers to.
Where the fuck the monkeys? They're hiding up in the trees.
I can't
That's
see
because
that.
people aren't going out in their houses and touching grass.
Well, that's true too. I can't see that being a viable
They ain't wiping their ass.
explanation. The monkeys? No, they
Nah, the
fling
people.
shit. Well, they fling shit too. Just
Yeah.
ask the people up there in San Francisco. As
God.
far as and the second one, that the creature is actually an ape from Asia that wandered to North America during the Ice Age. That one may be because, the silverback gorillas, they thought those were legend for a long time. They thought that was a myth.
Fair. But, these are quite a bit larger than the silverback.
Tall.
Yeah. Well, as far as tall and stuff.
Yes. Because even the silverbacks are kind of on all fours.
Yes.
They can stand on 2 legs and walk around, but they usually do like to use their hands as extra feet.
Right. And that the arms are still much longer than the legs, if I can remember correctly. they sort of low to the ground.
Bigfoot is a Titan confirmed.
Yeah.
That's possible.
He
That is possible.
Nephilim. Hairy Nephilim.
He doesn't fit the definition of Nephilim. They had 6 fingers and 6 toes. They were able to make weapons and stuff like that. Reportedly, a lot of them had red hair.
He's able to throw rocks. What more do you need?
Double rows of teeth. And that's not the same as going out and building civilizations and stuff. Because the Nephilim, there are recorded records that they did that. Yeah. Remember the story of Goliath?
Yes.
He was a Nephilim.
Isn't there some big feet that are apparently red-haired, though?
I think that some of them said that, depending on the location, it has been sort of like a reddish brown to those that had black hair. So I think that there is...
And then the Yeti has completely white hair.
Even on that is disputed.
Yeah.
That there are some that say he was. I know that one thing that the Tibetans had, that they thought that it was the scalp of a Yeti, and it turned out to be something else, maybe like a mountain goat or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
But it had sort of a reddish hair to it.
Okay.
So, and I think that some of the people are saying that the sightings of the Yeti is some kind of bear that's been displaced, because the bear actually was either a dark brown or black.
Yeah.
I can't see that. I think some of these scientists just make shit up
I don't see
to
how...
shut people
Probably.
up.
I don't see how Bigfoot can be... I don't see how a bear can be mistaken for a Bigfoot, though.
That's what I thought. But like I said, I don't... Do I trust the science?
No.
Hell no. And...
I mean, that is why it's still a myth.
Yeah.
And then as far as number 3, Bigfoot is among at least 2,000 ape-men walking upright. How does that one not go back to number 1?
Yeah, and also, how would people not have, interacted with these people? I mean, hell, they go to tribes people in very remote places and talk to them.
Right.
You would think they would be able to find these ones.
How has someone not caught one yet?
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. And that's what makes most people so skeptical. But again, going back to the gorillas. Yeah.
That's true.
And there's been a lot of creatures that people have thought were extinct or myth or whatever until they found one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that one huge fish until it washed up on the beach and they thought that it had been extinct for thousands of years. I can't remember the name of it.
The coelacanth?
Yes. That's it.
That's a big-ass fish.
It is a big ass fish, and it looks harsh.
A lot of things from the ocean look harsh.
Yes.
They're scary. They're alien.
They
I mean,
are.
when you only know 5% to 10% of the ocean, yeah, shit can get terrifying.
Yeah.
Especially there in the deep ocean and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. You don't know what's down there, and it
No.
could be the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And most of it that has made it to the surface has been like the teeth and the bioluminescence and all that stuff.
Well, you gotta
Football
think.
fish.
Yeah.
Light only penetrates the water so far,
Right.
and so the further you go, the more likely the fish are to be blind if they have no reason to go up
Right.
to the surface and interact with light.
Those
Right.
damn anglerfish are nightmare fuel.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. They're really scary stuff.
Not the pufferfish, though. Those pufferfish, when they're blown out,
I
they
love
think
them.
that they're
Pufferfish are
threatening,
kinda
but they
cute,
are
though.
not.
They just trying to live.
Yeah,
their
they think
life.
that they're threatening, but they are not.
That's because they're not threatening to us.
The only thing that's threatening about them is the fact that if you step on one, it's going to hurt
Oh yeah.
and it's going to kill you.
Yeah, that's
Well, it might kill you,
reasons.
but it can
Are
definitely
they
make you
poisonous on
sick.
the outside, or is it only when you eat them?
I
No,
think
it's
it was
it's
just-
their spines when they prick you. That's where the venom is.
Is it?
Yeah.
really.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes
Trust him.
sense.
He knows some of this shit.
That,
That I
yeah,
don't.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's why why they wouldn't want to. The other ones wouldn't want to crunch down on him too.
It's also
The other fish.
apparently in Japan, you have to have a certification and be trained for a long time to actually be able to serve pufferfish.
I think it's
Yeah.
fugu, isn't it? The name
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
of it?
fugu.
And I watched somebody prepare that not that long ago, because the internet can be a vastly fascinating place if you use it correctly.
I watched on TV Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmern.
Oh my God,
Oh,
I bet that man
God.
had parasites as long as his leg. He ate things that it's like,
Yeah.
not everything is edible.
So just because they call it a delicacy and they eat it doesn't mean that you can. You are
Doesn't
not
mean
from
that
here.
should be eaten.
You do not function like they do.
No.
It
But
doesn't
They
mean
might
they
have
should be eaten.
resistances to things that you don't.
he ate things, like I said, and I would just cringe. Of course, that
Yeah.
was part of the show, was that cringe factor to say, let's see what this fool is going to do and if it's going to kill him.
Yeah.
What was it? There was another one
Fear factor.
where it wasn't necessarily him eating the food, but it was like partaking in like their cultures, where some of them were like coming of age ceremonies,
Mm-hmm.
where they would. I remember there was one of them with like a tower that they had built
Oh, yeah.
and had jumped off, or like the ants. They would have the fire ants.
Oh,
fight
yeah.
them, and then cover them in lemon
What?
and salt.
That's
There was one, the tower that you're talking about, they had a vine or something tied
Yes.
around their ankle, and
Mhm.
that thing could have snapped.
Yeah.
They had to, and the ants that they had, like, it was almost like a grass, it was a woven mitten, and I
Mhm.
think they were called bullet ants.
Oh,
And that it was
they're
just,
mean.
yeah.
and we
They would
don't
put the
have those
mitts on,
rights
and then
of
they would
passage.
pat it to aggravate them and make them bite them.
Yeah.
But what made it worse is that they would then use a mixture of salt and lemon to cover where you had been bitten.
Well, like I said, that's, and there are anthropologists that have proposed that that's what's wrong with our cultures today, when we got rid of a lot of those rites of passage.
Well, it's because nobody is experiencing hardship and pain.
Well, there's no, distinction between childhood and adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is why you've got Peter Pan syndrome that
I'll never
keeps
grow up.
going. Yeah. All right. Number 4, as far as the monster being a Native American nature spirit. Now, there's a lot of things that have been reported for generations that people are like, oh, we've never seen it. I think we've lost our ability to see a lot of things that are around us.
Probably.
So I could
That's
see
Either
what I
that.
that, or
think.
it's like, it could be that these are intelligent other dimensional creatures that are
Mhm.
like, yeah, we're just gonna go back home.
Right.
Forget this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go see what these other ones, it's like, we gotta wonder who are the animals on this for real.
Yeah.
And then as far as his 5th one, all videos and alleged photographic evidence is actually a hoax. Now, you're always going to have hoaxes on some of this stuff. But it's sort of like the aliens, when you hear so many people that have had these encounters with these things, there's got to be something somewhere.
Right.
And these people are adamant because they know what they saw. And my horror with the Squatch, the legend of Boggy Creek, oh God.
You just saw the trailer, though.
Absolutely, that was enough when you got that big hairy arm reaching through that glass and everybody's squalling in the cabin. Well, hell yeah, I'd have squalled too. And when you live in a heavily wooded area like we do, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I understand why.
That's why I'm paranoid about the paranormal.
as far as like spooks and stuff, or as far as the Bigfoots?
Any of it.
Oh, okay. And how did you get embedded with our group again? That's how we live?
She's literally married to my brother.
To sit there and go, oh yes, I'm going to marry into this group that they've had paranormal experiences most of their lives.
No
Yeah.
idea.
Oh.
I just saw him in college. I was like, he's it. That's it. There is no one else.
But she accepts us well. She has integrated well. That's what we were talking about before we started recording. And this was the second time I had seen the movie, which was by David Paulides. It's called Missing 411 Hunted. And there for a while you could find it on YouTube. And we had watched it off of, I think it was Amazon Prime. But there was quite a few of the stories of people missing, excuse me, that he covers. But towards the end, that there was a group of hunters that they would go. They had this location that people didn't know about. And some kind of beings had come around that campsite, and they were able to record what these things, and there was more than one, and these beings were communicating amongst themselves.
That's weird
and
as fuck.
It was scary as shit.
Yeah, that audio actually creeped me out.
Yeah.
Because some of the sounds that they were making was just like, ugh.
Yeah, and you could tell that it was a type of communication.
I wish you could play it.
Yeah,
But, like,
I can't do that. I'd
Some
get
of
a
it
strike
sounded
on
almost
that.
human-like.
It
and
did.
Almost like as if they were trying to speak English.
Well, it was a language.
Mm-hmm.
And that one of the guys that they had interviewed was, I don't know, he was some kind of linguist or something. And he explained that the ranges that these creatures spoke in was higher and lower than capable of by humans.
Interesting.
Yeah. And there is the question of, is Bigfoot interdimensional? Is he a, alien? And that's why that they can't find him.
That would make sense if he's not native to this planet.
He's a Wookiee. It's Chewbacca. I'm so glad you were capable of doing that. It's just... Oh, and another thing on that movie, the 411.
Uh-huh.
This woman was hunting, and she looked over in the trees, and there was this thing that it was cloaked, that was moving, but it looked like the trees and stuff.
She said it looked like plastic wrap almost.
Uh-huh. That was moving in the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And that was spooky. I've heard of other people. It's sort of like the movie, was it Predator?
Remind me what happened in the movie Predator.
That was the one where the alien came down and he had the technology to blend into the background. It was like a cloaking device.
I don't know. I never saw Predator.
And
I saw Alien though, but
no, it's totally different. But
I know there is Alien versus Predator.
The fact that this being was able to basically be invisible until it moved, and that the kids that were practicing band that were not that far away from where the woman was, at the same time they had seen some kind of UFO.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to watch that with us, BB. You have to, yeah. It was
It's
some
cool.
good stuff. But there have been quite a few people, like I said, that have made some kind of distinction between Bigfoots and other things. I always thought it may be Gigantopithecus. So
Giganto piss and shits.
God dang it, Clay.
oh, that's the mountain version. But it's interesting, and I still don't understand why it is so controversial amongst the paranormal community. It's very odd. Because
Well, I guess when it's cited across different places, you've got your own version of the myth because of the different things that you see,
uh-huh,
the different things, the other myths that you have,
right.
stories that have been passed down from other people, from different backgrounds,
Yeah.
different states of mind.
Well, the fact that my mother had reported, and she had no clue, none, that they had heard a noise up at the cabin that they had
Heard a
never
whoop.
heard before.
A
Mhm.
whoop.
Whoop. Yes. And when she made the verbalization, and I'm like, oh, that's a damn Sasquatch. So, she's lived in this area for 78 years. Her friend was an avid hunter and had lived in this area all his life. And for them to say, we'd never heard anything like that, and I'm like, oh, no.
Big feet.
It's like,
Big
hell. So, I was not...
y'all heard of big feet?
I was not... It would not be out of the realm of reason to think that this creature is nomadic.
True.
As far as like, well, why hasn't a carcass ever been found? Well, anybody who goes up in the woods a lot realizes that you don't have that many carcasses of anything lying around.
Nah, because stuff gets eaten up there real fast.
I mean, you can go out town and understand why there are no carcasses. There are buzzards everywhere.
Absolutely.
But then again, that stuff stinks. Like, big feet stinks.
Well,
Right.
Yeah, because it's literally,
So,
it's rotting.
How would... No.
No, just before it's rotting.
Yeah. Like, they just stink in
I
general.
mean, to be fair, wild animals aren't exactly known for their hygiene.
Yeah, but they apparently smell bad anyway.
Yeah, some of them, I can't remember where it was, they called them the skunk ape.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But...
Yeah.
So, most animals go away from stuff that smells bad like that.
Yeah.
So, I don't see how one would just die and it's something to eat it. Because if it would
things
smell
eat
that bad.
skunks.
They do eat skunks, that's what I was thinking.
That is true.
Some things
but
can't smell.
That is true.
Possums don't care. They
No.
just don't care.
You got a
They're the
point.
trash pandas of the world.
Yeah.
I don't know that a raccoon would care. I don't know.
Depends on how hard up it is. Like, if it can't find an easy meal, it'll probably go for it. Like, if it's in a secluded area, they don't give two shits.
Maybe a wolf.
They're wild animals at the end of the day, as much as people like to think they're domesticated to a degree.
Maybe a coyote.
Possibly. That or just, bugs in general.
I mean, even a
Yeah.
coyote, I think, would shy away from something that stank really bad.
Yeah.
Because it would probably be like, oh, I shouldn't eat that because it smells really bad. It could be bad for me.
Yeah. But I think it is interesting. You brought up a good point there, kid, that for it to be reported to stink horribly. And I don't know that I have heard anybody say what kind of a stink.
True.
Just stinks. I've heard some people say that it smells like rot. Like it smells like a rotting body sometimes. Like it
that
smells
ain't
that
good.
bad. It smells like a bunch of trash, like a dumpster mixed with rot.
Well, it also depends on what kind of rot, because there's a difference between vegetation rot and,
It's usually like some sort of flesh rot.
yeah,
But
like meat rot.
I know I have dealt with dogs before that when they have been rummaging through like garbage. Oh my God, they'd run you out. So who knows? Who knows what this creature could be rolling in?
not money. You're rolling in mud.
I mean, who
And
is
dirt.
rolling in money? And where do I find it?
Right? Show me that money pit. Let me roll around in it for a bit.
So, final thoughts. Yay or nay? Is Bigfoot a thing?
I think it can be. I don't think it's what people are thinking. I do think that it could be like either an extra dimensional kind of thing, because like, how are we to know that that doesn't actually exist?
Oh, we do know that things interdimensional. We do know those exist. So we just don't know whether or not Bigfoot. I don't have a problem thinking it's like he could be interdimensional. Kid.
Maybe. Maybe it's alien. Maybe it's not. I would like to assume that it's not alien, but if it is, damn. Damn.
We've had too many people that, like I said, have had sightings of whatever this is.
Yeah.
There are a lot of commonalities, including the, vocalizations that these creatures make. Not all of it could be a hoax.
No.
And just like BB was talking on the previous video, there are so many things in the deep ocean we have no clue about. And some of these heavily forested areas, we don't know.
No. No, we don't, but the
Well, it's
government
like-
does.
Anything can hide.
Yeah.
And you won't know anything unless it shows itself.
Why do you think
For
people go...
any reason whatsoever, whether it be an accident or because it was run out and forced out, or unless
Right.
it was just like curious or something.
Why do you think people go missing in national forests? Usually because they see something that they're not supposed to, and then poof.
It very well could be. It could be that. It could be the aliens. It could be the Bigfoots. It could be...
That's another good point. It could be scientifically engineered and then escaped.
That could be.
Yeah.
That very much. But that wouldn't account for the Native American legends.
True.
Now, we've got a hell of a lot of chimeras, and that's what I've always thought as far as the chupacabra. It's interesting that the chupacabras that were in Puerto Rico were different than the ones that were spotted in Texas. Yeah, reports were totally different.
Well, yeah.
But so I don't think that Bigfoot is necessarily a chimera, because, like I said, that's more of a recent thing. He's just one of those mysteries that we don't know yet. But I'm not so much of a cynic that I'm going to sit here and go, oh no, there's no way in hell that could exist. Kid's over there with his nose snarled up like he smelled Bigfoot.
I'm thinking,
So,
That's dangerous.
yeah.
ha! How dare.
Yeah. I have, like I said, I have this fear of, and that's one thing about where our holler is so dark coming up through here.
Oh, yeah.
And at least we do have a dash cam. But the thought of one of those things running out,
Bigfoot jumping out
And
at
it's
you.
like,
it's always in the back of my mind. That's another reason I don't like to drive at night.
it's like, you know,
It could happen during the day.
Oh,
it's
hell.
very dark at night because there are no traffic lights. And the trees are quite close together.
I mean, it's
Mhm.
like
So
the...
it even blocks out moonlight.
Yeah, it's like it eats the headlights.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yes, it's oppressive darkness at some points.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you really got to pay attention, otherwise you are at risk of, even with your highlights on,
Mm-hmm.
of running off the road because you can't fucking see.
Right. I mean, we've had bear, run across the road and stuff.
Deer are the most common.
Yeah. So I just, like I said, the thought of
I
a
don't love them. They
Bigfoot,
ain't the
I'm like,
smartest.
No. Deer are not smart whatsoever.
no,
Speaking
no.
of deer,
They're food.
have you seen their cousins, the moose?
Yeah.
Those things are huge. Those are frightening.
Like, you
They're
never
frightening.
actually think about how big a moose is.
The sounds that they make, too.
That and the elk was what we was
Yeah,
talking
the
about.
elk.
And then you start thinking, cows. They look, you're used to seeing them on TV and stuff, but then, the neighbors have some, and I'm like, damn, they big.
They don't tip over.
No, anybody who said they've been cow tipping obviously has never seen a cow in real life.
No.
You can't
Or
ride
is
them well
trying
either.
to hype themselves up.
You can't ride them well either.
ADHD conversation.
Welcome to the train of thought, where all of them
Absolutely.
have gone off the
Divergent
rails and they're
thinkers.
crashing into each other.
Yeah.
Divergent thinkers. So, but I urge everyone to watch that Missing 411 Hunted, and especially there, it was the stories towards the end about where those hunters were talking about that thing coming into their campsite, and to hear those vocalizations, and it's chilling.
Nah, fam.
It is chilling. That's it. That's all y'all got.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got
if we want us to
allergies.
go on tangents, we can. We're all ADHD here. We can find some way to connect it.
I'm good.
So I'll do my spiel then. If you've
Yeah.
had experiences with paranormal or supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, the big feats.
Big feet.
And honestly, if you know someone who has had an experience with Bigfoot, or if you've had one, or any of those, send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. All these people that have seen or witnessed this creature, or have heard it or whatever, they can't all be delusional or just making it up.
No. Delusion. Convince yourself.
Well, there's too many similarities between these things, especially for places like this is all. Some of this is documented before they were in contact with each
Right.
other.
Yeah.
And for most of these things to have so many commonalities,
Mm-hmm. There's something
how
out
would
there.
they be able to do that?
Yeah, there's something
To
out
create a hoax as elaborate as that?
there.
Yeah. BB, do you want to do the other half of the last half of it?
Oh, that's your job.
Oh, okay. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all, and have a good.
Yeah, and I don't know if I said it or not. Email address will be in the description box, as will the link to the article. I've got allergies, it's affecting me. And know that you're loved, and Lord willing, we'll see you on the next go.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.